I'm Karin. Welcome to my world. I want to talk about changes or change. There are several angles. But right now, I want to invite you to first close your eyes and put your hand over your heart and just take a couple of deep breaths with me. One of my favorite cartoons drawings to refer to, I have two, this is one. And I'm sorry I can't give you the reference, I don't know who did it. But there's a speaker addressing an audience, and he says, "Who wants change?" And everyone raises their hands. Then he asks, "Who wants to change?" And no one raised their hands. Do you like change? We might like diversity. We might like going to different restaurants, but I think very few people truly like it when their world changes. We have a need for something we know. It's really scary to venture into something we don't know. And we never know new things. That's the whole problem. If we decide to move to another city, that's quite intimidating. You might end up doing it, but you probably thought about it for a very long time, and you might regret it once you get there, thinking, okay, is this really gonna work out? Am I gonna be okay here? And so, as a human species, we tend to run from bad things rather than go towards good things. In my world, I'm governed by my higher self. I am governed by my intuition. My higher self knows so much more than the three-dimensional me. My higher self knows so much more than my brain, because my brain is a three-dimensional construction, is extremely limited in what it can do. So there's a part of me that is so much smarter than my body can understand. So I can live by my brains, which will severely limit what I will do in life, because I've been there and done that. Or I can trust that there's a part of me that knows a lot more and sees things more clearly and will help me go to good places. It's kind of like going on a vacation when you were little, and your parents dragged you around saying, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that," and you didn't want to go. And then when it turned out that when you arrived, it was a playground, it was wonderful. But you didn't know what was happening, and you were playing with your toys, and your parents come and they drag you off, and you say, "But you gotta come and see this," and "No, I don't want to." I believe that we make free choices in life, absolutely. I also think we have a higher plan before we arrive. I think we do pick our lives with openness towards exactly what will happen, but with a general outline. And there's a lot of ways we can go about that. Once we get here, our brains may say, "Well, I'm supposed to do that? No, sorry, no, I'll just stay here." No matter how gently we're pushed in the back and saying, "But come on, it'll be fun. Come and do this. Come and look at it. Come and check it out. Give it a try." So no, I'm good. And I think that if your higher self really needs you to go there, if this is a part of an important agreement you made, or If you do trust your higher self to make the bigger decisions, maybe you need to go somewhere to be safe. Maybe you need to go somewhere to be comfortable. And you're not doing it on your own. You're not getting out of there. You're not leaving the house. There's a fire catching on and you're still ruminating through the drawers and trying to find stuff, and you haven't really realized there's a fire on and someone's yelling, you say, get out, it's on fire. And say, no, we're good, I'm fine. And you probably aren't. So you're going to listen to that inner knowing saying, okay, I need to do this now. I need to move, I need to change, I need to do something different in my life. Or you're going to let your brain decide what you're going to do. Because your brain is going to let you be stuck in a house that's about to catch fire. And your higher self can see it coming. He sees the little spark. He sees the first flames and says, you got to get out of here. And if you don't listen, things are usually going to get worse around you. And it's going to keep increasing in severity and in trouble and in problems until you finally get the hint and you move. Whether it's a personal thing or if it's a physical movement to another place, whatever it is. Once it's time to move, we usually get told, first gently, by our higher self or whatever powers we believe in, it would be a good time now to move along. So, I'm good. No, thank you, I'm fine. And then they start talk a little more insistent, and at the end they might be kicking you hard in the butt and pushing you back and grabbing you by the hair and pulling you along. So what kind of changes you see in your life? How soon do you get the hint? How long does it take you to hear, to listen to the gut feeling, to know that something is not quite right, that it's time now to either move physically or emotionally, whatever? How long will it take you before you will listen to this? How long are you going to wait and let your brain decide what you need to do? And how bad does it need to get before you finally figure it out? Not very long ago, I did need to move, also physically. And things happened around me. And they weren't bad yet, but I could see where it was heading. And I felt like a cow. I felt like I was a cow being herded along. And I was looking behind me going, moo, indicating, that grass looks really nice. I mean, I was on this field and I was doing fine and this is good grass. So why do I need to leave? And I was being herded along the path and said, but there's a much nicer patch over here. I mean, this field is much better for you. Yeah, I know, that looks really good too. But I really like the grass I was eating. Can I go back to that? And then one by one, the gates just shut behind me. It was nothing dramatic. Everything worked nice and easy because by now I absolutely trust my intuition. It's actually the only one that gets to buzz me around, the only one that gets to tell me, okay, you need to do this. When intuition says that, I do listen. But part of me was still being the cow that didn't want to leave the pastures. Oh, it looks so nice and green. Can I just stay here? And just pushing along, saying, no, you can't. But can I go back? No, gates closed. Okay, I guess I go forward, and I guess I move on, and I guess I change. So I could have waited, and maybe in time there would have been a cattle prod to get me moving along. I don't know. Or it could have been a steak if I stayed long enough. But how much pressure do you need before you heed the warnings and you heed the notices and you figure out that maybe the better place for you is ahead? Maybe you're not in the good place right now, or maybe it was fine and now it isn't anymore. Maybe some things changed around you and now it's time to move on. So do we like changes? I don't think any of us really do. But we don't mind the nice green grassy field once we get to it, because it's really juicy grass. I think I can still, I'm not quite there yet, it's ahead of me, but it smells really good and I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I think I'm gonna hang around for a long time until someone comes and kicks me out of the field again. So how much does it take for you to get the hint? How difficult does it have to get for you before you agree to change? That's the question, and it's your choice. Thank you for now.